Milo, is that you?
There, I think I got it. I'm here all by myself, except I'm with the Bruces, so while it seems lonely, I have the Bruces. I have more Bruces than one man can handle.
Well, there you go.
I have a plethora of Bruces.
A duo. You have the dynamic duo of Bruce.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't OD, that's all.
Yeah, OD. No. I'm OD and I'm Bruce. How come every Bruce I know has a beard?
It's part of the club rule.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So anyways, boys, remember a long time ago in a land far, far, far away, we interviewed a fella named Cale Leifert. Are we talking to you?
Did I hear something echoing up in the chat? What's going on, man?
Apparently, Cale's already come into the studio.
Yeah.
I unfortunately never left.
I think you know what, Lionel?
I got lost on the way out.
Lionel, I think the gag sort of slipped off his mouth there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, anyways, Cale, when we last interviewed you some time ago and it was broadcast in the spring of 2019, in January or February of 2019, we had great fun talking to you about Lego trains. Because we did. You are a huge Lego trains guy. and we decided amongst the three of us, because of the complexity and the way you guys research out what you're building and the way you guys try to be as close to the prototype as possible, the three of us here at the old AML headquarters in Busted Knuckle, Kentucky, we're actually on the eastern side of Busted Knuckle. In a little, we located the Mildred A. McCracken building in the eastern part of Busted Knuckle. And anyways, the three of us decided that Lego train guys are model railroaders too. Did we?
Yes, yes, we did.
Yes, exactly.
It was a unanimous decision.
It was a unanimous decision. So anybody, because I've heard stories about how some train shows won't let Lego model railroader guys or Lego trains in because they don't consider them to be part of the hobby, which I think is absolutely goofy.
Yes.
I've been pretty lucky. Like all of the train shows my club has done, we've been welcomed pretty well by most of the model railroads there.
How much does it cost to belong to your club?
We actually, it doesn't cost anything. We actually have two levels of membership. We have a free level, and then we have a paid membership. The paid membership is $40 a year, and you get access to some bonus perks with that membership. And then of course the dues go to help support the club. Stuff like our trailer and that sort of thing. But we also have a free membership. As long as you participate with the club with 3 functions a year, whether they be a meeting or a show or something, we generally consider you a member of the club.
So, and the club we are referring to is called PennLug, which is Pennsylvania Lego Users Group.
Yes.
And how often you guys get together? Like once a month?
Yeah, we have meetings once a month. We take turns hosting at each other's houses.
So you have, and then you guys are always in contact through and you were telling us how you think the Lego trains has grown like crazy ever since the advent of the internet, which plays right into my constant and tireless harangue about I'm convinced the hobby's going to explode and we're all going to be covered with model railroad goo because of social media and the internet. Because the one thing that this hobby was missing is the connection, and we can now connect with as is witnessed tonight. I have Bruce the mail boy with us, who's been with us basically since the very beginning, and I have Bruce Kelly, who is the creator of the Kelly Questions, which makes him part of us since the very beginning. He's the president of every model railroad club within 102 miles of Medford, Oregon, and he's what's the third thing?
I forget. So many titles now.
Well, you're the creator of the. Oh, you're the original super fan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You forgot that you're the original super fan.
Yeah. I got this. My badge is getting longer and longer.
I don't think
floor.
I think by now I must have done it, but I'm not sure I sent Patrick Lavalley his certificate yet.
Oh.
But that's because we don't have enough staff. We need more staff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, by the time this airs, he'll have it.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Eventually, I'll have gotten around to going, I got to mail that.
Patrick, if you listen, no, I got it. He'll get it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Cale, we have this thing because, as I said, Bruce S. Kelly, the S stands for shindig.
Oh, that's not what I heard.
What did you hear?
Well, it's something to do with disturbing, but
I thought it was for shortchanged. Oh,
well, that could be too.
And you know what happened today? It really doesn't matter when we're recording this. We won't refer to the actual date when we're recording this because it's a long time from now, long since come and gone. But today is the day that Bruce S. Kelly purchased a new home.
Well, put the offer in and got the accepted offer. Now I got to go through the loans and all that stuff.
So you didn't purchase a home?
Well, we purchased. We it's official. It's now we got to make sure the financing comes through.
Do you know a guy named Mike Ostertag?
Yes. But I do get my wife flowers though.
So were the two of you guys put on this planet just to irritate the living crap out of me?
Definitely.
All right. Well, that's
keeps
good.
Keeps you going.
Yeah.
So all right. So you set in motion the process to purchase a home.
Yes.
Would that be a fair statement?
And it's a positive moving forward.
And it's a positive moving forward, and it's much acreage. It's what is it? 30 acres in the Siskiyou Valley.
And Rogue Valley.
Okay. And it's 40 acres.
Yeah, 40 acres. That sounds good.
And you have a 20,000-foot main house and about 15 outbuildings.
Yeah.
And how much room do you have for? I'm sure this will air before the Tom stock.
Oh, definitely.
I would hope so.
Well, I wouldn't count on it.
Well, true enough. Good point.
Yeah. Would you like
maybe we can premiere it at Tom stock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
Anyways, okay, Cale. So here's the dealio. We're 8 minutes in and we've done nothing. We have this.
We're on time.
Yeah, we have this thing called the Kelly Questions that was developed by our very own Bruce Kelly, and it's a series of questions, hard-hitting questions, to find out your interest in the hobby of model railroading, and it's basically that's all it is. Are you ready?
I'm game.
Okay, cool. And I think I'm interested to see, but I think these questions will apply whether you're a scale model railroader or a Lego model railroader or just somebody in between. Now that didn't come out right because there's no in between. I think you could say Lego
you could have
trains
like
is one
wooden block train model railroader.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All right, Cale, do you prefer steam or diesel?
I'm a steam guy.
All right. Do you have a particular steam locomotive that's favorite?
I do. I probably have two that are my favorites. They're actually both Pennsylvania Railroad locomotives.
Okay.
One is the T1, the 444 duplex.
Right.
And then the other is a Pennsylvania Railroad E6 class Atlantic type, particularly number 460, which was the locomotive on the Limburg Special.
Wow.
Oh,
He sounds a lot smarter than you guys. Have you built either? Have you built either one of these in Lego yet?
I built the E6, the Limburg engine. I've actually built 3 versions of it so far. Improving my model each time, and I'm probably going to be building a 4th version sometime in the near future to again improve upon it and make a better model.
Okay.
I haven't tackled the T1 yet. It's on my list. It's on my to-do list, but I will get to that one at some point.
All right. So your favorite prototype railroad is?
Do I have to pick just one?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. That's the way the Kelly questions work because
All right.
you're scored at the end, and the way you answer the questions really has a major effect on your score.
We are making notes right now.
Yeah.
All right. I would probably have to say my favorite prototype model railroad is actually the Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad.
Okay.
It was a little regional railroad that ran from Baltimore, Maryland, to my hometown here in York, Pennsylvania. If you talk to anyone who knows anything about the railroad, they'll often describe it as the model railroad that was built 1 foot to 12-inch scale. It was full of little valleys and tight curves and steep grades, and
right.
It was, if you can imagine a model railroad in real life, that was it. It had, it was not a very big railroad, but it had a lot of charm.
Right.
And it was also a local railroad, and I love local history.
Okay, cool. Where exactly is York, Pennsylvania, say, in relationship to Allentown or Harrisburg?
York, Pennsylvania is about 40.
I see.
About a half hour below Harrisburg.
Yes, I see.
A half hour south of Harrisburg.
On Interstate 83. Yep.
We're on Interstate 83. Route 30 comes through here.
Right.
Lincoln Highway.
Do you know where Robisonia is?
I'm familiar with it. It's out. Yeah.
It's not that far from where you are.
No.
And do you happen to own an RV?
I do not own an RV.
Well, if you could get one before the summer of 2020, it would be great. We'd really appreciate it, and you could haul it out to Robisonia and for Tomstock.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I might have to get an RV.
Yeah, we're thinking. What are we thinking, boys? Maybe 30,000 people.
Oh yeah, that on the low side.
Yeah. We're trying to be conservatives.
Pennsylvania, they closed the Pennsylvania Turnpike too.
Yeah. We're trying to be on the low side. We don't want to buy too many burgers.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. If you were rail fanning, would you rather photograph the trains or ride on them?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I like doing both.
Yeah, we don't ask a lot of easy questions, so.
No, it's hard-hitting journalism.
Gosh, I really like doing both.
Boy.
Oh man,
time is also a factor too. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
I would say riding them.
Okay, cool.
I really do love photographing trains. I like going on. One of my favorite things is going on photo charters where you can both ride the train and get off at certain points and take photos of the train.
Right.
But I think given the choice, I like the experience of riding a train. And photos are great, but there's not the experience of actually being on the train and watching the scenery go by.
Yeah.
And that journey, that's a really cool thing.
It is very cool. What was your first model train?
My first model train that I could really call my own was actually a Lego train set. I got it for Christmas one year. And that kind of like
Yeah.
that kind of like really kicked everything off for me as far as like Lego and trains and
It's a great way to get in the hobby.
it is. There's nothing better than a train set under the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. I can see where Lego must be. Lego trains manufactured. Where is Lego manufactured?
They have several different factories around the world. Originally Lego is from Denmark, and that's where their headquarters is to this day. I think they still have some production there in Denmark, in Billund. But a lot of their production is, they have a fairly big factory in Eastern Europe. I think Poland? No, Czechoslovakia. They have a big factory in Czechoslovakia. They used to have a factory in Enfield, Connecticut, at their American offices, but they've since moved that production to Mexico. So they have a big factory in Mexico now. And then in the last 2 years, I think they opened a big factory in China that they use to supply the Asian markets.
Okay. All right. That's very cool. It's all very, 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 very cool. All right. And I like how the fact we can ask these questions and they apply to Cale as they would apply to any model railroader. What's your favorite? Well, this one maybe not. Well, this one applies. What's your favorite model railroad scale?
Well, I guess you could say we call Lego L gauge.
Right.
I guess you could say L gauge.
Okay.
That's my main area of interest.
Sure.
But I do really like HO scale as well, and that's on my list of things to do sometime before I die. Is I have a model, HO scale model railroad that I want to build, and I want to do that at some point because I want to,
Right. Exactly.
I also want to do some of that some traditional model railroading.
Perfect. Excellent.
And get into that, but for now, Lego, L gauge is probably my.
All right, this is a perfect question for you. True or false? Is N scale dead?
I don't think it's dead. It's a little small for me.
All right, how about this? How about this, guys? I think this would be a fair statement. In his interview, he was telling us about the demo derby they have now with the Lego. They do these brick fairs, which are getting over 1,000 people to register. Would this not be a fair statement? A Lego train against an N-scale train? The N-scale train is going to get crushed every time.
I would think.
Yeah.
But then again, an N-scale demo derby could be kind of fun too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get some of those nice scaletrains.com and N-scale Gevos bashing each other.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite model railroad that you can think of?
There's at least two that I can think of. Well, I'll give you the first one that kind of like. Really
okay, let me repeat the question. What is your favorite model railroad?
I would probably say the Franklin in South Manchester.
Okay, and George Celios.
George Celios.
George Celios's layout. That the very first model railroad magazine I ever seen as a kid had an article on his layout in it. And I remember staring at the photos for hours and hours, just in awe of how awesome that model railroad looked. And,
Well, that was like for me. For me, it was what was the day? It was 69, was it not, Bruce?
October 1967, I believe. There's October 67, which had the centerfold.
Yes, that was me. Yeah.
January 69 was the tour.
Yes, so October 67 that had the centerfold of John Allen scoring defeated in 69 with the tour.
Yep.
That was what sent me over the edge. That made me a lifelong model railroader. Now
with the nighttime shots.
With the nighttime
really,
shots
yes,
and all 9 years. Oh my God. And little known. Bruce, either Bruce, I think Bruce Wilson can attest to this better. Probably he's a little more up on this subject. Little known fact that after the demise of the Goryeo defeated, unfortunately was lost in a fire. There was a box of treasures
Sorry.
that
Can I smack him in the head?
yeah.
This is serious, Kelly. Come on.
Come on. There was a box of treasures that was taken from the house and is now under the desk of Cody Grivno at Kalmbach Enterprises Media.
That's what some people like you to believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the other story is it was lost in a wood chipper, this box of treasures.
Yes.
Or the third version of that is Marty McGurk has it in his garage, right beside his pogo stick.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Moving right along. Let's see. Moving right along. That was a great answer, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
So, could you tell us who the most influential model railroader for you is?
It would probably be a gentleman, Howard Zane.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Another great
Yeah.
answer.
Good answer.
And I say that because he wrote a book a couple years ago called My Life with Model Railroading, I think.
Yep.
I've read that book, and he talks about one of the things that kind of grabbed me is in that book he talks about model railroading as art. As an art form, and that I kind of like gravitated towards that because
Right.
it really is model railroading. It really is an art form, and we don't give it enough credit in that regard. And it in a lot of ways that parallels like Lego, like
For sure.
Lego modeling. There's those out there who really feel like Lego modeling is an art form, and then there's those who argue, well, it's just a model.
Mhm.
It takes
for
a
those
lot.
of us.
Yeah, it takes a lot of talent to do what you guys are doing. Lately, I've been interrupting
Exactly.
people too much.
For those of us who do this and are passionate about it, we like to think of it as an art because
It is.
Yeah.
Anytime you try to recreate something accurately, that is it's a form. Anything you create is a form of any kind of form of expression, regardless of the medium you use, is some sort of is art, and it just depends on in the eyes of which beholder, and who has it and all that. I mean, except
Yeah.
except
everyone...
this would apply perfectly to what we some of the spectacular steam locomotives and all the locomotives and the cars that people produce. I couldn't do that. Maybe after decades and decades of practice, I could do it. So here, taking a line from the Red Green Show, if I can do it, it ain't art. And there's no way I could build some of those locomotives you've built. So that was a good answer. You've had some good answers.
I'm trying hard.
Yeah. Okay. If you could, this is a great question for you. If you could give somebody starting out in the Lego trains hobby, and you could give them one item and cost was no object, what would it be?
Well, I think the obvious answer would be a Lego train set.
Right. Would it be a particular set? Particular set?
I don't know if it would be any particular set. Probably just whatever Lego's current offering is. But I mean, that's in that set you basically get the building blocks, no pun intended, of the building blocks for for everything you need to start out in the hobby. You get track, you get, a train model to start with, instructions on how to build that model. So you get, the motors, the battery box, the controllers. You basically get everything you need to start to build your own train and be able to run your train. And from there, you can do whatever we want with it. You can modify that train to make it, into something else. You can take the basic components and just build your own new thing completely different from what, is in the box. But the basic building blocks of starting your train hobby are all there in that box,
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you do it, because everything you need is there. So where do you buy most of your Lego railroad supplies?
Well, Lego actually has a number of a number of their own brand retail stores and malls across the country now, and you can go there and you can buy basically all the sets that are currently offered. And then they also have a what they call a pick a brick wall, where they have individual pieces where you get a cup, a small cup, I think, for like $7, and then a large cup is $14, and you can fill whatever can fit in that cup pick all the different pieces off the back wall and fill that cup up and take that home. So that's one way, buying sets and getting parts. And then the other is there's a website online called Bricklink, which is basically, the best way to describe it, I guess, is a giant online flea market for Lego.
Right.
Where people can set up their own shops on Bricklink and sell sets, sell individual parts, anything Lego related they can sell on there through
Right.
their own store.
Wow. That's cool. You can buy I'm looking at it, you can buy a Ferrari F40, and it's like $137. All right, next question. What's the most what is your favorite event of the year?
My favorite event of the year is probably going to be Brick World in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's one of the largest Lego conventions in North America. I've attended every year since it started. It started in 2007, and I have not missed a year yet.
Wow.
I have a number of friends who go to that convention. I usually end up making at least one or two new friends every year at that convention. I see old friends at there. It's just a really fun convention, and there's a lot of great people there. I
found something interesting here on this Bricklink. It says there's 10,720 stores on Bricklink. There's 120,000 unique items on Bricklink.
Mm-hmm.
And there's almost 1 million active members of Bricklink.
Mm-hmm.
Holy mackerel. 1 million members. That's almost as many listeners as we have on the old AML network.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? All right. Next question. What do you prefer, regular beer or light beer?
I'm not typically a beer drinker, but I would say regular.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
regular?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, regular. Good. All right. Do you prefer salty or sweet?
I'm probably more of a salty person.
Dogs or cats?
Cats, definitely.
Okay.
I have two cats.
And what are their names? Oh, wait a minute. Before you go on, if either name is Fluffy or Socks, I'm turning off the recording.
No.
All right.
I have a female and a male. The female, the older one. Her name is Peanut Butter.
Okay. Because she's that ginger color like peanut butter.
Yeah, well, she's what they call a tortoiseshell cat.
Yeah.
She has like a coloration, maybe like a tortoise's shell. A lot of like black and dark browns and
Oh,
some
okay.
lighter browns. But the reason she's called Peanut Butter is because her front paw looks like she dipped it in peanut butter. It's the whole front tip of the paw is like a tannish color, and that's how she got her name.
Well, at least you didn't call her Socks, anyways.
and then the younger cat, the male cat, his name is Tigger, and he does bounce around the house. he's quite an active little guy.
Cool. All right. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, definitely.
What is your favorite hot dog condiments?
I'm definitely not going to say ketchup on this one.
Attaboy.
Good. He has listened to the podcast.
I like a nice pickle relish.
Okay, good. That's a good answer. Have you ever been bungee jumping?
No. Thankfully, no.
Good plan. Hey, you know, all those people who've gone bungee jumping, they're all going to have back problems. If you were a beer can, what size would you be?
Oh, well, I'm probably a little heavier than I should be, so I'd probably be like a 16 ounce or something.
Wow, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, a few people have told me I'm a little heavier than I should be, and then I ask them, so what size should I be? How many pairs of shoes do you have?
Not a lot. I probably have half a dozen.
Okay, and could you just, like, you got a pair of sneakers?
I actually have 2 or 3 pairs of sneakers. I have a pair of like dress shoes. I have a pair of work boots.
Or what do you do for a living? We've never asked.
Yeah.
You. What do you do for a living?
Well, for 17 years, I was in the landscape. I was worked in landscaping.
Okay.
I was a crew foreman, crew leader.
All right.
I was basically the guy in charge on the job site, making sure, everything, everyone's doing their job. And
okay, so you would have been the guy yelling at me then.
yeah. But I grew tired of that. So a year ago, I decided to leave the landscaping industry, and I've basically been partially supporting myself through McDonald Railroader.
Oh, really? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And and you make revenue from the kits you sell and stuff like that.
Yeah, from the sale of the kits and from other items. And I've actually I've had 1 or 2 commissions for models.
I was going to ask you about that too. I was going to ask you about that in your interview, but I dozed off. No, I did not doze off. I did not doze off. I was going to ask you about that. Do people pay like they do in regular? This sounds very. I need you guys to help me out with this, because I'm about to say, do people pay for models to be constructed or weathered like they do in real model railroading? And I can't think of a better way to put that.
Yes.
Hang on a minute.
Yes.
I'm talking to the Bruces.
Oh.
I would say, instead of saying like in real model railroading, it's just like other scales or other facets of the hobby.
Okay, other facets of the hobby. There you go. See, perfect. So, do people pay to have locomotives and cars built like they do in other facets of the hobby?
There is some of that. I've done I've actually built 2 locomotives on commission for another gentleman. There's other builders as well who have done trains on commission. But in the greater Lego hobby, there are people who do sculptures out of Lego or other sorts of models or Lego artwork on commission. So yeah, there is there is some of that, and
So you've built.
it's
So
it's
you've,
always nice when you can get that.
so you've built a couple of locomotives on commission then.
Hmm.
All right, cool. And would you have any problem with giving us a rough idea of what somebody might pay you for a locomotive? Like, is it less than $100,000 and more than 500?
Yes. Now, the two locomotives that I did for a gentleman, he's a big Norfolk and Western fan. So he wanted a Norfolk and Western A class, which is a 2664 articulated engine,
Wow.
and a Y6B class, which is a 2882
Wow.
built. So I had already built a Y6B previously, so that's why he had contacted me about building these models for him. So yes, I those are the two models I built for him, and they were. I charged him $2,000 each for each of these locomotives.
Right.
There's probably at least $600 or more of parts in the locomotive, and then you've got your
then
labor
all
and
your
stuff.
time. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. All right,
So-
cool. That's interesting to know that there are people. It's just like any other part of the hobby. Are there any other facet of the hobby?
Mm-hmm.
And when Bruce's.
Yep.
I want to apologize to you guys.
Okay.
I apologize.
Beforehand?
What's that?
Beforehand?
Well, yeah, I just want to generally offer my apologies.
Okay.
One of the things about the different facets of the hobby is depending on whether you want hot water or cold water, you'll turn on that particular facet.
Ooh, piss. Ooh, piss.
We'll be here all week, folks.
Just don't eat the veal. It's been here since the last joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cale?
And
Yes.
that was a long time ago from what we've heard.
Yeah, exactly. Cale, what is your favorite Bobby Goldsboro song?
Who?
Bobby Goldsboro. He had a huge hit in 1968.
That was before my time.
Okay.
I was born in 77.
Okay.
It was definitely before your time.
Yeah, and have you ever listened to music from before 19? What year did you say you were born?
1977.
So, do you ever listen to music from before 1977?
Oh yes.
Okay, well, you could possibly have listened. This song is called your favorite. Next time you're being quizzed, your favorite Bobby Goldsboro song is "Honey," which was basically his only hit. So, all right, next question.
I'll write that down.
Yeah. Would you like me to sing you a couple of bars? I can sing you a couple of verses if you want.
No.
I wasn't asking you. See the tree, how big it's grown. But friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big. All right, moving right along. If you were a superhero, what sort of powers would you have?
Oh.
These questions aren't meant to be funny. I wish he'd quit laughing.
Jeez, yeah.
Did he leave?
I'm thinking. I don't know. Time travel.
That's a popular one.
Yeah.
That's a popular one.
Time travel. Just it would make researching models so much easier.
There you go. Exactly.
Good. There you go.
Do you have any idea what your costume would look like?
It would be whatever the popular dress is of the time.
Whoa, nice
Good
one.
answer.
Blends in.
Yeah, so he blends in when he lands, but I think when he leaves, he's in a tight tight spandex onesie, like a blue spandex onesie with red trunks and a gold belt. And he has a picture of Bobby Goldsboro on his chest.
There you go.
Have you ever had a brush
See
with
that?
Yeah. Have you ever had a brush with the law? Did he leave
I
again?
may have got a couple traffic warnings.
All right, there you go.
I've never been arrested.
All right, but you have in fact discussed at certain times, perhaps your way you operate a motor vehicle with the local constabulary.
Yeah, we've had that discussion before,
Yeah.
and we've agreed to disagree.
Oh, there you go. Have you ever been on TV?
I've been on TV a few times. I've actually been on TV for my Lego modeling.
Right.
1 year at the convention in Washington D.C. Brick Fair. One of the local news channels came in and in the early morning one day, and were doing a news piece on the convention, and I was one of the guys there that they asked to that the convention organizer asked to actually like be there and be interviewed by them.
Okay. So that's pretty cool. Who's your best friend?
Oh man, I hate to choose just one.
Yeah, well,
We never said the questions be easy.
yeah, we didn't say this was going to be a walk in the park.
I can't choose just one.
Well,
There's two.
That'll really go against your score. If you, yeah,
Pick one. Pick
Yeah.
one.
quick.
Pick one.
If
Pick one and apologize.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Pick one and then apologize to the other one.
All right. All apologies to Nate Brill, who is an awesome friend, but I would say Glenn Holland, who is he's a younger gentleman who I actually met in 2009 at the Anima show when it was in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
And at the time he was I believe about 14 years old, and he was just getting into the Lego train hobby, and he had asked if he had went to the show, and he had seen some of my models there on display. I was displaying with my stuff with the New England Lego Users Group, and he had seen my stuff there and recognized it from online, and he actually sought me out.
Wow.
And to talk to me, and we ended up he ended up getting a photo with me because he just absolutely loved my stuff. Well, over the years we've stayed in contact, and we've talked, and eventually he moved his family moved to PA, and he became a part of our club, and
Yeah.
became really good friends. And when I started Brick Model Railroader, he was one of the first guys I went to, to help
Yes.
start this thing.
I've seen his name on there quite a bit. Yeah, when I was scrolling through.
Yeah, so he's been a huge part of Brick Model Railroader. So, he's definitely become one of my very best friends over the years. And all from that one chance meeting at the 2009 Anima train show.
Yeah, and is there a popular YouTube channel for Lego trains?
There's quite a few people out there who there's a lot of just Lego YouTube channels in general, but there's quite a few out there for who do concentrate on Lego trains.
Okay. So,
and Brick Model Railroader actually has its own YouTube channel that we do some videos for. Usually we put up videos of shows that we go to.
and what would I put in? Would I put in, if I went to YouTube, would I put in Brick Model Railroader?
Yes.
All right. And how do you think Nate Brill's feeling right about now?
I'm hoping he'll get over it, because he's also been one of my best friends in the hobby.
Okay. All right. Nate, you're a good guy, buddy. You can always be my best friend. I won't put Glenn over you. Okay. So finally, we're getting down to it now. What's your favorite zoo animal?
I always like the big cats. I'm a cat person.
Okay.
Probably cougars. Mountain lions.
Right. Do you prefer baseball or hockey?
I'm not a sports guy, but if I have to pick one, I will say hockey. I would much rather watch a hockey game than baseball.
Mm.
All right.
And I've actually gone to a hockey game or two.
There you go. And if you had to choose, you were born just after the heyday of the Broad Street Bullies, or was that the heyday? It was about the heyday of the Broad Street Bullies. If you had to choose one professional sports team to root for, would it be the Detroit Tigers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, or the Medford Rogues?
Again with the laughter.
I know. I don't know if he doesn't think we're serious.
I'm not even sure what sport the Medford Rogues play for.
Well, Joe can tell. Or Joe.
Joe?
Oh, sorry.
Man.
The other guy out there.
That's okay. That's
The other Bruce, West Coast Bruce, can tell us.
Yeah.
Well, if I have to pick between those three, I will say the Maple Leafs.
There you go.
I would much rather see hockey.
There you go. If you were stranded on a desert island with just one person, would you prefer to be with Bruce the Mailboy, Bruce the original superfan, creator of the Kelly Questions, and the president of every model railroad club within 102 miles of Medford, Oregon, or Lionel, the evil overlord?
I would pick Bruce the Mailboy.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll tally up the scores now.
Hey, Lionel. Hey, Lionel.
Yeah.
Can we add 2 bonus questions
Sure.
just for him?
Absolutely.
In what year did they start making the plastic Legos?
ooh.
It would be in the 1950s.
You're close.
Without looking it up, I don't know have an exact date offhand.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say 52, maybe.
The wrong side.
Mhm.
1958.
Was that
1950 Yeah,
late?
that late.
Mm.
And then Lego is a Danish word. What's the English translation?
Play well.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Well, Lego actually started out making wooden toys.
Toys. Yeah, that's correct. That's
They made wooden toys up through the 50s. And then sometime in the 1950s, they did they bought their first plastic molding machine, but they didn't make the bricks we know today until a little bit after that. So I was probably thinking of like earlier when they got the molding machine.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was thinking. What's your favorite podcast?
Ooh.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh man.
the scores are plummeting.
Let me try again. What's your favorite podcast?
Oh.
A Modeler's Life.
There you go.
That wasn't so tough, was it?
Maybe he nodded off there for a minute or something.
Yeah, he pulled it out of the dive just before it hit the ground.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now we have to add up the scores.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some ciphering. And Mr. Kelly, I think we'll let you go first.
Oh man, the questions, which is the same problem we have every time we do Kelly questions. When you ask a question and it's either or, there's no in between. I took 5 points off, and then I got the extra credit questions. He got at least one of them right, and he was close on the other one because they probably were making them before 58. So I gave him 2 points, and he stumbled on the last one, that podcast one, and I took a point off. So 1.
Oh, 1.
Oh, 1.
Well, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Out of 100, that's a pretty good score.
Yeah.
That's not a bad score for the Kelly questions.
He almost went into the negative. He almost went into
Bruce?
Yes, well, I have to agree. He did have some difficulty with the concept of what is your favorite, or what determining between the number one and more than one. So yeah, I knocked 25 points after that. Maple Leafs, I got a few points back there. Picking me on the island, yeah, all right. I'm nonpartisan on that. It's a good answer. Anyone is a good answer, so equally scored. So. The long pause on your favorite podcast, that just killed them.
Yeah.
In
So,
my defense, I didn't.
but
In my defense, I didn't hear the question originally.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And now he's
It's all over.
and now he's
Please have
interrupting the
mercy on me.
scores. Yeah, now he's interrupting the score.
Yeah, there's some more points off. But anyhow, I was in a fairly generous mood, so I gave him a 2.11.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, it's not a negative.
No, exactly. Well, you know what? I started out very encouraged because in the early going, like steamer, diesel, favorite prototype railroad,
Yeah.
he seemed to be able to come up with those answers pretty quickly and pretty steadily. And I started out encouraged. And then, as you say, we kind of started going along. And he had some great answers as far as influential railroad or influential modeler and stuff. And it was doing really well until he got to the thing about dogs or cats.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem that he prefers cats over dogs.
Yeah.
But I had specifically said to him, I don't want the cat to be either named Fluffy or Socks.
Yes.
And the reason one cat is named Peanut Butter is because one of its feet is a certain color.
But the cat is not named Socks.
Yeah, I wasn't. Okay, so did I discuss your scores? Come on, here, give me a break. I'm giving
you reasoning. Yes, I'm just pointing out.
I'm just reading from my notes. That's all I'm doing is reading from my notes.
Okay.
And so then he wasn't very clear on which pairs of shoes he owned, which I think people should always know what shoes they own. And he had no idea who Bobby Goldsboro was, which just crushed me. But he had runs in with the local constabulary.
That's a plus.
Yeah, but he picked you for the favorite podcast. But I'm afraid, for some reason or other, I kept coming back to that whole thing that his cat was named Peanut Butter because one foot was ginger. So that really stuck for me. So I wanted to be fair because it was his first time on the Kelly questions, and he did say relish. He understood the catch-up thing. So I gave him a 1.6.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not a 0. I'll take it.
Mr. Kelly, would you like to give out the email address?
The email address, if you'd like to reach us through the wonders of the internet, is modeler'slife@gmail.com. That's modelers with one L like Lego, not two L's like Kelly.
Yeah, wow, that's sweet. Nice one.
That's better than the way interview. I screwed that up.
The interview was so long ago, nobody remembers.
Yeah, I know.
And we got a Facebook. Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, but we also have a website, amodellerslife.com. And if you go there, and you'll find all the links that you need to, and all the stuff you need about the podcast. And I think that's pretty much it. So what we do, Cale, is we let you keep your tinfoil helmet.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we'll sign it for you if you want. And then really pretty much the only other thing that we ask is that you leave.
Do I have to? I'm having so much fun.
Did you see the couch you're sitting on?
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little hot over there.
Yeah, that's brickmodelrailroader.com. Go there and you'll find out everything you need to know about Lego trains, which is very, very cool. Very, very cool. And I think if you had any of those boxcar things available, I know a couple of people that'd be buying them.
There's probably a big run after the initial interview, and now there'll be another run.
Yeah, I bet you there will be.
I feel like someone's dropping a hint or two.
Yeah. Bruce's, as always, I couldn't do this without you.
Yes, it's been a pleasure once again assisting you.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, and good luck with it. So, good luck with that big spread you purchased there, Bruce.
Yeah, I was thinking, what's the size of Tom Jacobs' barn?
98 by 22.
No. It's something by 36.
It's 20 by 36.
20 by 36. Okay, so that means I've got to do at least 24 by 38.
There you go.
Or 22 by 38 would work.
Yeah, that's true. I'm working on it.
And get a pad and make sure you get a door that swings out and not in.
Yes. Well, I figured that's normal. That's common sense. That yeah.
Which apparently Tom had none of.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, Tom. Tom, that was
Yeah.
Bruce that said that, not me.
Hey.
Not,
the other thing I got to tell you is I'm buying a 7.5 inch or 7.5 gauge locomotive.
You're
Are you?
kidding.
Yeah, one of the guys is selling the Northern Pacific F3A unit, and I'm purchasing it from him. I'm like buying a used car.
Yeah.
Doing it on a payment plan.
All right.
And the live steam or the track at the live steamers and the Model Railroad Club are going to be in an issue of the Trackside Model Railroader digital magazine.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, that's tracks. Yeah, it's a local to you guys, isn't it? In Oregon.
Yeah, they're in Spokane, Washington. I wanted
to interview them, but they never answered. Maybe I should try.
I'll get you. I lost his card, but he wants to talk to you because he loves the podcast.
And you know what else? I'm seeing as how we're on things that you're doing. I can't. That's cool that you're buying a 7.5 inch. You were going to get us some of those coupler key rings from Katie.
Katie? Yes.
You were going to go in there and throw yourself on the floor and ask them.
Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem.
Why don't you just sneak in after work when nobody's there and take them?
Oh, no, the dogs would probably go after me.
So you bought a 7.5 inch. That's another whole. You know what? That's conversations with Bruce.
That's why I'm making the announcement now. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that show. All right. Cale, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Yeah, I think we asked you a little bit ago to leave. All right, that's it. I'm hitting the button. We're out of here. So everybody say goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Good night, Dick.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.
Why do we never get an answer when we're knocking at the door with 1,000 million questions about hate and death and war? It's when we stop and look around us, there is nothing that we need in a world of persecution.
It's another Lincoln Homer. Oh, we forgot to get Ralph on again.